Ladies and gentlemen, it's Constructabot V-Build time again. Yeah, that's right, more of the skeleton things with the stuff on them. These are from the new Transformers movie, Age of Extinction, and, well, I say these. This is Dinobots Grimlock. It says it in plural right over there, I kid you not. Same price point as good old Dead End, and as you can see, the boxes are even pretty much exactly the same, except for how the Dinobot ones are a bit wider, and ergo not exactly the same. But I ain't just building Grimlock, no sir. I am also building Mr. Strafe and Mr. Slug. So I'm just going to barrel through these and see if there's anything different about any of them, or are they just going to be more of the Constructabots doldrum? Are they going to be three identical skeletons with different wheels stuck on the sides? Well, these ain't even vehicles, so let's see what happens. Why don't we? And kick it off with the big man, Dinobots Grimlock. Seriously, I can't... That's bothering me. So I popped the seal on this, actually, when I got it, and then it kind of made me go, like, I should record this. So I dumped out the parts, and one of the parts is, like, this is the part. It's like a straight-up, just big old chunk of a T-Rex. And I was like, well, that's unsubtle, and I wouldn't have minded building this, but whatever. There's a thing down here. It seems to be part of a gimmick that's making him, I don't know, have seizures. And this thing also was loose there, but let's break open the bag and see what happens inside. I'm going to actually use the instructions for this because this does seem to be breaking the chain a little bit on the Constructabots chain. So let's see what they want me to do here. Alright, build legs. Those actually look real similar to what I've done before. But these leg bits all do seem to be kind of new-ish. And are these still coated? Oh, they are still coated. I thought this, for a second, this looked too shiny to be coated, but it definitely feels like it's still the coated rubber deal that we had going on before. And are these the legs? No, I need the more stick-like things. Is there like some particular orientation for these, or does it not matter? Let's do it like this. Alright, so there's a leg. Let's do that again. Let's do this crazy dance one more time before we get on our disco shine. There it is. So these guys leaked alongside the Age of Extinction Deluxes I've taken a look at, but they and the Titans were definitely not nearly as high on anybody's priority list as the Generations Age of Extinction toys, which those actually were Generations Age of Extinction toys. In case you didn't know already. And this is actually more interesting. These are different parts. These Dinobot legs are not the usual skeletal framework that we had before in Constructabots. And there's a different setup to all the C-clips. Like I'm using a central internal horizontal C-clip on this one. And that's new and interesting. But yeah, the Constructabots also leaked. The Dino Rider little guys are actually out there somewhere, but I couldn't find any, and for all the slight interest I do have in Constructabots, I wasn't about to start, like, hunting them down on the internet, because they will be everywhere before you know what's up. And where is this guy's Autobot symbol? It looks like it's a flat caramel piece, and here it is. Actually, this is kind of cool. The Autobot symbol is on a C-clip now instead of a peg. That's new and interesting. That means it can pose. Hooray! And it seems that there is no waist joint, and I think that that's actually kind of bad, because this whole torso is one piece. That's clearly, we've lost the waist joint. That's a bummer. I guess because of this thing. I guess we'll see if that thing pays off. Let's take the big egregious dinosaur chunk and attach the T-Rex arms, which do appear to use the C-clips as well. And they've got elbow clips. I guess these could be used for building purposes if you start getting imaginative, thinking outside of the box. Which I suppose would amount to slapping a bunch of dinosaur pieces together in a brutally unsubtle way. Oh, you know what? These elbow clips are actually used for the build. They are what fastens this onto the back. I wasn't expecting that. Good show, good show. You got me one there. And I guess this just chills out like this, and does that. I've already broken it. Alright, well, whatever. I'm also gonna just take a guess and assume that these legs stick on thusly. Alright, I was correct in my incredibly thoughtful guesswork there. I also banged the microphone with Grimlock, so my apologies to all of you who were listening far too closely. Okay, what is this? This takes a bunch of ball joints. I guess that's just how it's gonna be. Oh! Oh! They've integrated the wrist ball onto this thing. This is definitely a bit of a simpler skeleton than the original Constructabots. I was kind of hoping for upgrades, and I feel like I'm getting side grades, not upgrades. I know that some of the somewhat limited release end-of-line Beast Hunters Constructabots had things like thigh swivels, and I was hoping to see some of that on these guys, but that's definitely not the case. These dudes are going as simple as they can, but there's something a bit more classy and characterful about just the appearance of them. Like they definitely do not have that I'm a Technics Lego robot, oh no I'm not kind of look. And I think we're just about done with the assembly here. Got a fully painted head sculpt in that. It's actually kind of fusing the cartoon and the new movie Grimlock's together. Like they're giving him like the Shades visor and the faceplate, but you know, also leaving the big mohawk fin. And that's okay, that's Grimlock. His sword uses the ratcheted C-clip deal, so I guess that's gonna clip in super hardcore. Actually, that's kind of cool. So, well, cool to me anyway. Constructabots have a 5mm hole in their fist. These ones seem to have a C-clip instead. I wonder, can the 5mm peg stuff still be taken by these C-clips? No, it cannot. That's actually kind of a bummer. I was expecting a bit more cross-compatibility. I mean, everything's kind of inverted on a lot of the connections on these guys, but the size is comparable, as you can see. You know, if you take into account the half of a T-Rex sitting on his back. So, let's have a go at transforming this, because I'm curious to see how that is supposed to work. And it said it was doable in 12 easy steps, so I wonder just how easy them steps can be. I gotta swivel some feet around here as well. This is either going to be like a total wow moment or a total oh that's it kind of moment. I admit I am expecting the oh that's it moment. So by setting my sights low, I'm setting myself up to be pleasantly surprised by whatever happens next. Alright, looks like this is forward like that. Man, the head doesn't even fold away on this. That's a bummer. I'm not into that. How is this supposed to go? Like this? Okay. Oh, man. And then we're clipping this in over here. So that's cool. You're kind of clipping and unclipping using the C-clip system. That is adding something new to this whole system, but jeez. That's like look, that's another part of the instructions. Just take a look at him from the side. That's step 6. And alright, more C-clipping. These things clip into the sides here. Alright. I guess I gotta bend. Yeah. Oh no. Step 8. Turn him around 180 degrees from here. Alright, there's step 8. Was there a reason why you're aiming for 12 steps, Mr. Constructabot Grimlock? Like, was there something to be gained by reaching forward for the magic number 12? I certainly hope so. Alright, and I gotta attach this guy's sword to his butt to finish this off and give him a tail. Okay, handle side up. Which clip is this going on? The top clip. Alright. Huh. You know, considering the fact that his robot mode head is right there, from this view, it's a lot less obvious than I thought, and I think this is why I was so deceived by the packaging photos, because he does a good job of hunching over and trying to hide that head. But imagine how much more solid this would have been if the head folded away. Not a whole lot, but that would have done a lot to calm me down. This can't possibly be all the hands are doing back here. Oh, well, okay, there. I fixed it. And there's a thing up here to plug in, a little Dino Rider who I don't have yet. And I kind of want these little guys because they look super cute, and they seem like they'll be cheap. But that's Grimlock. Let's see how Slug does. Another land-based dinosaur. Let's go! Okay, so this Slug Constructibot, I have not peeked in the box whatsoever. So let's see how this goes. Let's see what the big chunk-a-doo parts are. Yo, I really want that tiny drift. Okay, big head, big torso. This is actually already looking a bit nicer and more hopeful than Grimlock because things are at least a touch more compartmentalized and separated and not in, like, huge, egregious chunks. There's more interesting parts in here, too. There's big spinning floral petal things. That makes me happy. That makes me interested. I mean, it seems like one of the running themes for Grimlock in these Age of Extinction toys are that when you start looking at all the Dinobots together, Grimlock just seems to get all the weaker toys. I'm not sure why. I feel like it's like the folks working on them take a look at Grimlock and they're like, oh, we can't do something as simple as just having this T-Rex stand up. How can we futz with it? And then stuff gets futzed with, and then all that futzing leads to things not going super well. These are Grimlock's feet, I think. I'm really sure these are... No, these are different. I'm sorry. I take that back. This guy does have unique foot parts. I thought these were Grimlock's, but they aren't. These actually look a lot more like the pointy shoe medieval knight look that these dudes have had going on in a lot of the imagery we've seen and the toys that have made their way into the hands of people. So, the skeleton of the build does seem to be quite similar, even though the parts all seem to be quite a bit more unique. And this is something that I had somewhat garnered from the photos I saw of the Beast Hunters Constructibots that I've never actually seen in person outside of, like, the BotCon display case if they were there. I can't actually remember if they were there. And I am rather pleased to see that. I like the idea of unique parts on Constructibots outside of their head sculpts, because, you know, that adds another element. That's the thing I keep saying, is Constructibots are just desperate for any kind of additional elements outside of their base construction. Any kind of example of fresh new building ideas to be provided by the manufacturer and designers, and not just, you know, left up to us to deduce on our own. Got another one of these posable Autobot symbols, and is this... Hang on, I gotta check one more thing here. Is this the same chest piece? No, it is not. Grimlock's has his crazy little necklace thing. Okay, well, every time I think I'm gonna call this thing out on parts reuse, I'm getting caught. There are a lot of unique moldings on these guys. That's good to see. That makes me happy. Where's our magic gear wheel? Let's cram that into the anal gear position. And we need our butterfly flower pot thingamadoo. And yeah, this is clearly going to hook into some kind of gear mechanism. Which I can totally see where this red thing there and blah blah blah. Yeah, okay, that's working with the gear. This thing feels like it needs to be held in by some kind of part, and according to the instruction book that I'm looking at, that part is this head. I'm going to break order here and plug the head in first. So, yeah, riding like my own wave here, just doing my own thing, clicking on my own frequency. Oh man, he even has the silly chin spikes, that's great. Oh man, the spikes are C-clip too. You can just start attaching these to other Constructibots. I kind of like that. Like, that's the one thing. These things have, like, uniform connection points. And that means you can, you know, have a really dumb day where you're like, what if I stick Triceratops parts all over a car? And, you know, that, as I said, it would be a very dumb day. You'd probably not do anything that society would respect, but, you know, it would be your thing that society doesn't respect, not just someone else's, not something you bought off the street that society doesn't respect. And in lieu of tiny T-Rex arms, this guy just has a pair of big rods that attach in the same way. Alright. So it looks like the transformations are extremely similar in terms of these backpacks. I'm gonna guess that I fold this guy's limbs to look like he's on all fours, and then just fold the backpack up like on Grimlock. We'll see. You know, I don't want to be I don't want to be too snarky about this and, you know, start making assumptions about how this is going to go. I mean, we've got to still stick all these things on. Oh man, the hands are molded onto the backs of these. That's kind of neat. And by neat, I mean, like, it's also all one piece and probably will look really weird when you move the wrist around, but whatevs. I love the colors on this guy. It's all purple and red. Loud and proud and just a little 90s in a way I kind of enjoy. Alright, let's cram this on here. And away we go! So the size is very much the same size as the others. Oh man, this is not a Stech helm. What is this? I don't know anymore. I like the Deluxe Toys head a little bit better, but I kind of like this head too, just not as this guy. I don't know what to think. And is this a knife he's supposed to... Looks like it. Let's see. What do they say? Yep, it's a knife. So you give him this little thing so he can cut your carotids. Alright, let's try transforming him in instructionless, because I think I know how this is supposed to go now. So I bet you I stick this back here into the anal clip, and then fold this thing up all like this. Clip it in there. It's clipping in on those spots. Feels good, man. And all fours. I do like the humongous, like, dino toes that kind of tell you, like, this part goes forward. And let's fold this backwards. Whoops. Folded it right out of the joint. There we go. I'm guessing his legs go backwards like this. I'll double check the instructions before I proceed. You know, just for the sake of intended designer accuracy. Oh man, this guy looks like a wrecking machine. He looks like a wrecking machine that is a guy on all fours. Let's see. Oh, they want you to put the purple bits outwards on there? For real? Okay, let's give that a try. This is supposed to be side... This doesn't feel like it's gonna work. Yeah, this has to be backwards a little bit. Doesn't it? He looks a little bit more like an iguana than a than a Triceratops. Who knows, maybe this is actually what Triceratopses looked like. I mean, we're just filling in the blanks on the bones, right? He says, offending all the paleontologists in the audience. Is this really what... This looked way cooler on the box. I'm not missing anything, am I? Swivel them sideways? I mean, really? How does this work then? What? Now they don't line up with anything. Does look a bit better than the backwards legs, I will admit, but only just so much. This also means he is tall in this mode. Like, really tall, like, not hunched over nearly as much as I was expecting. This is a long-legged Triceratops thing. What does his little gear do? Woo! Yeah! Just like a real Triceratops. I think we should move along to Strafe. Okay, Strafe. I can't see how Strafe could go very wrong. I can't see how Strafe could go very wrong. I'm still mulling over how Slug turned out. I feel like I really missed something there. So let's see, what's all up with Strafe? We've got that bit and that bit all separate, and then this thing. Alright. I bet you these are wings. We'll find out. As Strafe also, he can't possibly get all weird with the transformation like Slug did, because his feet are his dino heads, and I can tell off the box art that that's still the case here. Like, I feel like Strafe is kind of like an equation that's made to not fail. So let's find out if he can, I guess, not fail. I don't think he'll fail. I think he'll do really well. I think Strafe's gonna be our buddy. He's gonna be the one that makes me go like, all right, you did it, boy. You put it together. Where are the things that he attaches to exactly? These things. All right. Like, I was expecting his feet to be really long, and clearly that is still the case. But, you know, I was ready for that. You can tell on the box pictures that his feet are going to be enormous. And I'm going to guess these are his legs. I'm going to guess this is the other part of his leg. You know what? Even if I'm guessing wrong, this is a construction system. I should be able to futz around and put the wrong parts together as long as they fit. That's the beauty of imagination. The Lego movie taught me so many things about Constructabots. Let me tell you something while I'm following the instructions. Alright. Definite pattern. Still not quite sure how I feel about these guys. I don't know what it says about me that I was expecting a little bit more in terms of fresh ideas out of these guys. I don't know if that is me being intensely unreasonable. I don't think I'm quite deluded enough to be expecting, like, it's like a deluxe levels of new ideas. I just thought in the realm of the Constructabots template, maybe a little bit more could have happened. There are some cool things on here I've mentioned a few times. I like how many things have kind of switched up to be C-clips rather than 5mm pegs and ports, just to, you know, to switch things up in general. In fact, now I'm looking at it, I think this guy is almost entirely C-clips. I think these guys have actually been entirely C-clips. I don't know why I didn't notice that until now. They actually are pretty much cutting off a lot of the 5mm stuff. That's not very good. I mean, it seems like it's confined to the realms of these Dino Rider Constructabots, and, you know, I guess that's fine, but yeah, I'm just realizing, like, a lot of 5mm crossplay has been eliminated here. This looks way better. Oh, man. That's like an actual body. I'm thinking Strafe is going to be an MVP here. Making an early call. Let's see what happens. Alright, so we got these big wing things. And they C-clip their way into here. All like this. Oh, man. Double C-clips? I don't think I can even fathom. Hang on. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Okay, Strafe is really making me feel good. We'll see what happens once we get them all together, but this is the most warm I've felt about any of these Dino Constructabots so far. The last two, not nearly as endearing to me. Get in there. Get in there. Yeah! Yeah, you do what I tell you to do. I'm pretty sure this goes on there. I'm going to take a risk and say that went on there. Let's check for spoilers. That went on there. I was right. Okay. Strafe, you're making me feel super good about this whole idea. I was looking at these at Walmart going like, I don't know if, and then I was like, you know, part of me is really curious, and so I did. Don't worry, I'm not going to be too deranged. I'm not going to start buying like the Titans or anything. I don't think anybody buys. Apparently the Titans sell really well, and I think that must be to aliens. 'Cause I never see anyone even like glance at the Titans, and I stock a lot of children at Walmart. What? No, that's not what I said. Don't take me out of context. And this sword thing goes in over here. Boom. Alright. Oh, man. Strafe. Strafe, you make me feel really good. This looks like a friggin' toy, man. That looks like a toy. Let's see how he transforms. Now I really want to know how he transforms. I bet you this thing comes off and goes back here. Wait, no, that's covering it up. Where does it... The formula has been shaken up. I'm actually kind of happy about that. Where does the tail go? Alright, so these things swivel around. I'm really good at just ripping these ball joints apart when I swivel them around. But you know what? They go back together super easy, so I guess I can't complain too much. And, that's supposed to go like that. That's supposed to go like that. What next? I want to follow the instructions to the T this time. Oh man, I'm already really happy about these instructions because one of the steps is take the giant robot head, and flip it around so it's not facing out. You can actually kind of hide Strafe's head. Strafe is legit top tier among these waves of Constructobots. And by plural, I mean singular, this wave. Alright. Oh, this... Whoop. I ripped his elbow off. That's fine. Things are feeling so good, I don't care if I rip ball joints apart. Oh, man. This looks like a toy. Look at these crazy friggin' double-headed necks and spines everywhere. Alright. He's standing up like this. I'm gonna guess you want me to straighten the wings out. I want to know where the tail goes. Skip ahead. Where is that clipping on? Is it... Oh! I see! So these things do their little double C clip thing I was all excited about before. And this thing plugs in over here. And further covers the robot head. I'm super happy about it. Man, okay. Strafe friggin' rocks! If the deluxe toy is also this good in terms of those deluxes, man, Strafe will be some MVP level stuff. I am really into this. This is like... I don't know, it's a big dumb two-headed dinosaur, but it turns into a robot pretty well, and it doesn't look as quite as goofball nonsense as the other two. You know, they painted the eyes even. Man, okay, let's take a look at these guys together. Alright, like, Strafe wins. Let me just say it right up. Like, this isn't a review, you know, this is just me kind of gabbing right after I built these, but Strafe friggin' wins at dinosaur mode, man. Grimlock's okay, you know, as long as you don't look down here. He's okay. He's alright. Slug would be fine if he wasn't supposed to be a Triceratops. I need to fan mode around. I think there's a way you could make this work that doesn't just look like, you know, a frog with 5 horns on the front of its face. There's probably a way to make this work. I need to play around with it some more. Let's get a look at these robot modes. Robot modes are overall, like, just better on Grimlock and Slug. They look more like Dino Men, although they both look, I don't know, something funny about the two of them. It really is, like, those backpacks are hardcore. And I guess the waist joint, I was kind of miffed about it when I was building them, then I kind of thought about it. The waist joint on the old Constructobots, you did have to disengage it to use it, and often stuff would bang together. I guess I could survive with that gone, but I really wish the thigh swivels had appeared on here. That would have been quite a boon. These two guys, they're okay. They've got big, dumb backpacks. They look kind of silly, but, you know, make way for the king, man. Make way for the king! Look at Strafe! Look at this rude mother. Look at this guy. Just all chilling out like, yo, what's up? I'm just a robot with wings on my back, and I look like a fully realized transforming mecha, and I'm a Constructobot. Strafe friggin' rocks. If you do want to start playing around with these Dino Rider Constructobots, like I said, I'm not going to say this is a review. I've messed with these things for all of about half an hour tops here. But Strafe has given me super good feelings. I really hope the Constructobot Scorn turns out this well, because I want Scorn to be good everywhere, but I'm not seeing any Constructobots out of this movie doing any better than Strafe anytime soon. The old-timey ones with the little, like, dinosaurs that break up into armor and stick on them looked, like, super dumb in a way I don't care for. So, for now, like, I think this is really just... I got to see those little Dino Rider dudes. I'd like to pick up the first wave of those and mount them on these guys to see what it looks like. I'm really into the idea of that gimmick. I'm kind of into the idea of collecting the Dino Rider Constructobots. At least while this is all going on, it seems like a fun thing to do. Guess we'll see. Strafe has really kind of ruined this all for me because he's so great. Although, if it wasn't for him, I would have been like, man, this was a mistake altogether. Strafe brought it together. He's the friggin' king, and I love him. I would like to see Wave 2 of the Deluxes come out on May 17 along with Wave 1, please. I want some more Strafe in my life. Anyway, this has been Internet Personality Evangelist. Thanks for checking out this V-Build Dead, and catch you on another side. Yo, I'm so badass, my foots are heads. Foot talking,